Hear a little bit about how did God open those doors, and then what has He done to leverage your own calling in those environments?
I would. Are we okay here?
You got it turned on?
Oh, I don't know. Do I need to? All right, there we go. I'd say, I've at various stages of my life come to a more general idea of what I'm called to do, which transcends the particular job that I'm part of. And I'd say there are a couple different statements that I've had about what's important. First of all, I think when I was with the C.S. Lewis Institute, and this is still true of me, the idea was in the legacy of Lewis, to develop disciples that can articulate, defend, and live faith in Christ through personal and public life. That'd be a summary of sort of my purpose statement for a while. And I'd say it still is, but then it's been, Lord, I think several years ago, in a very powerful way, impressed on me something that was utterly impossible for me to do, but it was to impact key leaders, key cities, key ministries, and key networks to help facilitate spiritual renewal and transformation. And I felt that that was from the Lord, but I knew that I wasn't adequate to do it. I sat down and wrote down a whole lot of things, of ways that I could possibly accomplish that, but the Lord has come along and really led and guided me and opened doors all over the place for me to do it. I mean, one was particularly working with a group. These are sort of on the side, but really what I'm called to do. Work with a group called Transform World 2020. I don't know if you know Luis Bush. You may know of him. He's worked with AD 2000 and various things. He's probably the person that you've not heard of that knows more people in the world than anybody else. But in any case, you've got a big network of 6,000 network leaders that meet together, not all of them, of course, periodically, to really work on major issues such as poverty and human rights and family and orphans and that kind of thing. And I'm in charge of the government sphere, which is mobilizing the world's government leaders to help accomplish the goals. Now, obviously, I can't do that, but it's amazing the degree to which I've had opportunities to really work with government leaders. Like, it's led to, my involvement with Transform World led to my now being a senior fellow at the Geneva Institute for Leadership and Public Policy. And we have about a week seminar in Geneva at the United Nations actually now, where we teach leaders from developing nations, government leaders, principles that will help transform their nations from various, all kinds of different areas. And it's an amazing time. They're all believers that are involved in this. We have, say, a first day where we can have something that is a pre-conference where we talk about biblical perspectives of transformation. But the 3 days at the UN, we teach biblically based principles, but without quoting the Bible, to people that are people from developing countries, like parliamentarians from Afghanistan and Iraq and Myanmar and Nepal and countries all over Africa, Ethiopia, I could name many others, Uganda. And that's led to many more things, like, for instance, just this last year, I spent a week in Uganda speaking to parliamentarians on principles for national transformation, which was an amazing opportunity. And then later in Ethiopia with government leaders and networks of pastors. So there are many more things that I'm involved with, but those are a couple interesting things, starting with Transform World and then moving out to Geneva Institute, and then all kinds of opportunities that are happening internationally to work on this issue of faith and work, and then transformation economically and in other ways.
That's great.